Hello. Hello guys. Hello everyone. Welcome to another Daily 5 challenge. Today we are doing Silver Tongue. This is the last one I'll do this month. We are starting a brand new prompt list next month. I'll be sharing that with you guys very soon, probably on Monday's newsletter. But for now, I want to say hi to everyone that's on Instagram, to everyone that's on YouTube. Shane, how you doing? Howdy to you. So yeah, I'll also have some very, very exciting news concerning Illustration for Imagination program. I know a lot of you guys wanted to join last year, but couldn't for a lot of different reasons. One of them being sometimes the price is just a little steep for some of you guys. So I come with a very creative solution to help you guys. I want to say hi to BVS90 on YouTube. Everyone on Instagram, I see your eyes. You can say hi, don't be shy. So yeah, I'll be sharing all of that in a minute. Today we are doing Silver Tongue, and I was not the most inspired by it, but I think I come up with a sketch. I come up with a sketch this week because last week I came with no sketch and it took me forever. So this week I have this very cool sketch. I'm thinking about maybe adding a Mickey Mouse on top of this. We'll see. I didn't know what to do with Silver Tongue. Hi Indie Draws, how you doing? YouTube. So yeah, I'm going to do those two. I think I'm going to do something like in black and white for you guys on Instagram. These are my reference pictures. I think I'll do a black and white and with some colors. I haven't decided yet. So yeah, I'm going to make sure that we're a few more people on the call, and I'll start talking about the Illustration for Imagination program. You can be on the waiting list if you're on Instagram. All you have to do to be on the waiting list on Instagram is to comment or reply everywhere on Instagram. IFI list, that's IFI space list. It's going to make sure that you're on the waiting list, which means that you'll have priority access, which will be super important for you to be able to get this brand new accountability body promotion, which I'll talk in a minute. I think it's super cool to have this. Anyhow, I'm super excited. I'm not going to jump the gun. I'll tell that one in a minute. So that's for that. I also want to remind that for all of you guys that haven't participated into the skin tone mini class on Instagram, it's still there. You can do skin secrets with an S, I think. And it's going to give you an automation. You'll be able to have this mini class made of 3 videos to help you with your skin tones. I saw a lot of you guys going through it and liking it. Thanks for the feedback. So that's awesome. And so yeah, Silver Tongue today. Snag, hello. YouTube, how you guys doing? So yeah. Don't be shy, guys. You can say hi wherever you are. So yeah, I'm going to start rendering that slowly and talk about this this promotion that I want to do for Illustration for Imagination. So if you haven't heard from it yet, the Illustration for Imagination program is this program where I teach my students over a lapse of 8 weeks how to paint from imagination, how to paint from a professional brief. You start with a brief and you finish by the end with an illustration that you did all by yourself. I want to say hi to Kim and the Modern Painting on Instagram. Hi guys. We are doing Silver Tongue today. If you didn't hear me say that, Silver Tongue. So yeah, so the Illustration for Imagination only runs once a year. And it's been super popular. Every year that I launch it, we are filling the class. But some of you sometimes cannot participate for lots of different reasons. Sometimes it's time, commitment, sometimes it's money. The Illustration for Imagination is a mentorship program where I go over your shoulder to help you during the 8 weeks. helping you paint one illustration. And I give a lot of feedback, video feedback, written feedback. I'm always there for 8 weeks. That's all I do with my time. I give all my time to my students. So that comes with a price, obviously. Usually the price is $4.97. That's the early bird. That's usually the if you get it early, that's the cheapest you can get. But this year, I was thinking, how can I make it more affordable for people that want to join? And I'll be announcing it in a few weeks, but I'm going to start, or I had the idea to do a accountability buddy promotion. Basically, when you are learning with friends, close friends, people that you trust and know, that you can share your artwork with and get some feedback and just basically have a friend on board, your chances of succeeding in any class that you take get much higher. So I thought, how about I give you guys the opportunity to find yourself an accountability buddy, and if you do so, basically if you join Iffy as a pair of friends, I'll give you a new way to save money, and instead of paying $4.97, you'll pay both $3.97. And I'm gonna run that promotion a few weeks before we open the doors. This is very much for the people that already know about Iffy, that know the value that comes from it, that wanted to join last year but couldn't. I'll have this promotion running in just a few weeks. So keep your eye out there. I'll be talking about it in the newsletter. The doors for the illustration formalization program will open in March. On the 31st of March, we'll have our first class, but you'll hear me talk about it a lot before that, as the doors only open once a year. So I make sure that we get the doors open, we fill the class, and then we start. So yeah, so I wanted to share that with you guys because I'm very excited. I really wanted to make sure that everybody that wanted to join this year could join, and that's the best way that I thought about doing it. So I hope you guys are excited about that. I want to say hi to Shane. This is a great idea. I'm more inclined to work on my art whenever my wife joins me to work on hers. That's super cool. That's super cool. My wife, I would love for my wife to paint sometimes with me. She's very artistic. Like, she loves to do like puzzles, and this year we did some Christmas cards together, and it was great. So yeah, that's fun that you have your accountability buddy in the house. That's pretty cool. Also, my wife is my biggest fan and biggest cheerleader. It's good to have someone in the house to help you push your own skills sometimes. It helps a lot. All right. So this is for the people that just joined. This is Silver Tongue. I didn't know what to do, so I kind of put a bunch of like portraits together and kind of mixed like a Mickey Mouse portrait with coins getting out of her mouth. I know Silver Tongue itself, I think means like convincing someone. I think the expression means it's to convince someone. You can imagine someone like whispering in your ear some nice things to convince you of something. I think that's what the expression means. So I guess maybe what I'm doing here is like a tribute to capitalism, Disney, money. I'm not trying to like make a political statement or at all. I'm just having fun like painting these two characters here. But I guess it could say that, I guess. I think I'm going to paint these into black and white first. Or one in black and white, one in color. Because the reference that I have for the second one is actually in color. So I might change that, actually, to something in color. Giuseppe, you say, sorry for the question. Do you work on a single level or do you prefer dividing them? What do you mean by level? Do you mean layer? Let me know if you mean layer. And yes, I'm having a few different layers right now. I usually use a few layers for the different parts. Just gonna move the chat a little bit. For the different parts, and once I have all the flat colors established, then I like to actually merge everything and add the details on just one layer. I like to work this way. It feels just less, I don't know, stressful to me. But if I work for like commercial work, sometimes I try to keep as many emails, as many layers as possible, just because it helps with doing correction for the client. I'm gonna start with the black and white portrait, I think. Shane, you say it can also mean very charismatic. Silver tongue, very charismatic. I didn't know. Thanks for sharing. All right. I shared yesterday on Instagram a post showing how I transform a photo study and how to add a new element to your study and match the lighting. It's a skill that I teach in the Illustration for Imagination program. If you were wondering, basically it's how to take an element and get inspired from the light direction of your reference and then incorporate that element into that photo study. It's a great way to reach the gap between painting from imagination and doing like studies, essentially. And you are welcome, Giuseppe. If you have more questions, let me know. I think I'm going to keep the rendering of this piece quite simple. If you have been participating into the Daily 5 this month, how did you like the theme? It was supposed to be monochromatic portraits, which I sort of kind of did it this way. I was trying to get like one color for the most part, but I like to say that monochromatics, like real monochromatics illustrations, are pretty rare and they're pretty boring. Having just one hue, it's pretty rare. Usually you have like an analogous color scheme. And people like mislabel it as being monochromatic when in fact it's analogous. Because basically analogous, when they're very close, the colors on the color wheel, it almost looks like it's a monochromatic illustration, but you have all the diversities of hues, which is a little bit how I kind of approach my my paintings this month. Sorry, Instagram a little bit on the side. I will create the ears. go for darker and then add the lighting to it. So yeah, I'm excited about opening the doors of the illustration formalization program. It's a program that, like I said, I only open once a year, and each time I do, it's a real party. It starts with, first of all, having I usually do a big challenge. It's either the 1 week portrait challenge or that's too early for that. The 1 week portrait challenge or the 1 week character challenge that we did once, and I'll definitely want to do it again this year. And then we open the doors to IFI, and it's 8 weeks of really just a lot of fun, having the entire class working all the same time to create one illustration. And I was going through the illustrations yesterday, and I'm always impressed with the work that comes out of it. 8 weeks, people are creating amazing pieces. It's super fun and super inspiring. Let's put that together. And I'm going to do this. And how do I do this? Oh, oops. Select from cut. There you go. And I can delete that. So yeah. If you have any questions, guys, let me know. Sometimes I get too concentrated or just a little tired sometimes, like today. And the conversation doesn't flow as much. And this is kind of the reason why I'm doing these lives, so don't be shy to ask questions, to let me know what's going on for you in your art journey. I'm there for this. You know, one thing I haven't talked about in a while now is my Royal Feud cards. I haven't worked on it at all this week, unfortunately, which I'm very sad about, because I really want to push that card deck as much as possible so that I can print it at the end of the year. But this week was one of those weeks where just couldn't concentrate on it. Had too many things to do. I'm sure you guys understand. I'm sure I'm not the only one with a personal project that gets dust on. Oops, sorry, Instagram. Each time that I get concentrated, I lose track of where the screen, because I'm recording on both YouTube and Instagram at the same time, and sometimes my screen is like perfectly aligned for YouTube, but not so much for Instagram. So if you're on Instagram and you would like to see better, you can join us on YouTube. What app do you use for this? I am using Photoshop. But you can use any app to do digital art. I think it's one of those things that everybody's asking, you know, what app do you use? But truthfully, it doesn't matter. For as long as you know the software that you're using enough that you can have the control over it, you're good to go. It's really just about knowing the software. It's like if you were to paint with, you know, watercolor or acrylic or any of those medium, really. It's learning the medium. You need to learn your medium before you can advance more, essentially. I feel like this should be at its most. I'm gonna try to add some more lighting on these coins. So yeah, just trying to render this a little bit more. Zed, how you doing? Welcome back. I can stay for long today, but I wanted to ask if you have any tips for studying anatomy. I'm trying to get better at it. You know, the thing with anatomy, thanks for the question, first of all. I appreciate all and every questions. The thing is with anatomy, I think there's a lot of repetition. Once you understand just the basic things that you need to do to learn anatomy, which is understanding how to simplify the human form, is one of those skills. So that's called mannequinization, where you transform your figure into mannequins kind of thing, and you simplify them with boxes and cylinders and stuff like that. That's a skill that you should practice a lot. There's also understanding gesture. That's the motion of the body within the pose. That is very important. And then you have anatomy itself. And to learn anatomy is really to study. You need to study it, learning where the muscles are, how do they connect. But I think a lot of people, they jump right away into that kind of stuff, and they get overwhelmed, and ultimately they are giving up. And then years later, they're like, how come I'm not good? Well, you're not good because you keep giving up, right? And so my advice to you is don't go into the muscles right away. Practice a lot of a lot of gesture movement, a lot of mechanization. It doesn't have to be perfect. Understanding a little bit of perspective here is going to help, especially like to place the boxes and cylinder in the right perspective to make sense of it all. It's just a lot of repetition at the beginning. Like even me, I'm still on my journey. It takes some time to get to a point that you're really happy with your art sometimes. And so I would do that if I were you. And the way I like to approach it to make it fun, because having fun is important. Too many people are not having fun, and that's why they're giving up. Put it into a project. You know, the 1 week character challenge, for example, that's a perfect project for you. Something where you create like a characters that you're like really inspired from it, and then you find a few references, and you let yourself go, and you start having fun building that character instead of just trying to learn just anatomy. Of course, if you're like a hardcore artist that paint, that's all you do, you don't work, you don't go to school, all you do is painting, then yeah, just maybe take some little bit more time to learn anatomy properly. This will also skyrocket your progress as an artist. But for everybody else that like, you know, wants to do this for fun and get better at the same time, sometimes we put just too much pressure, too much comparison, and then when we don't reach our own expectations, we give up. And well, the idea is to not give up, obviously. Hopefully that was insightful and helpful. I think I'm gonna go find a spheric object online, like maybe like a black bowling ball, to get inspired of the shadows and lights. Let's see what we have. That's interesting. Do we have something else? I'm just going to see. No, that's not a reference really. Maybe something like that. Let me bring these to my canvas. I'll get inspired that for the ears. Panda, you say, do you have any advice to get over art blocks? So many. First of all, having fun is super important, and this is why you see me right now painting a Mickey Mouse that is, throwing up, I guess, or puking some coins. I'm just having fun doing it. Fun is really important. If you don't have fun, everything else is just going to be very, very difficult. You know, each time that you sit down in front of your computer, you have this humongous pressure of being better, and you won't have fun. Like, sometimes you just need to sit down and kind of let go of your expectation and appreciate the skills that you already have and push them to the best you can. The Daily 5 Challenge, which is the challenge I'm doing right now, is just a great way to get your aim, your head, your aim. I put head in game in the same word. To put your head in the game, as in like if you sit down and just kind of doodle something with the prompt of the day, chances are that you will be just having fun and let go of your expectation. And at the end, the product might not be like your best piece, but you will have fun. I think there's too many of us that are having like, passion projects for, I don't know, cartoons and movies that we really like. And we want to see these, like, we want to create these like almost perfect. Sometimes we don't have the skills for it. And that's where we're kind of feeling like deflated. But if you have that project that you're doing once a week, that it doesn't matter how it gets, like it can be a quick sketch. It doesn't have to be a fully polished, rendered piece. Now you're starting to have fun. You just kind of let go of your expectations, and I think that's a huge part of it. Zed, you say, I feel like redrawing old art and is another good way to get art blocks to remind yourself of your progress. That's a great advice. Definitely. I love to do that too. What I like to do is actually to transform my old work. Sometimes I like to just take an old piece and you change the lighting on it, or you change, you add an element. You basically like use your new skills to kind of like, push, to kind of push the illustration that you already previously done. I think it's a great way to do it. I'm going to start pushing this portrait real quick. But art blocks, I think most of the time when you have them it's just a question of like, you're not having enough fun. Have fun. It's important to have fun. We're doing illustrations because it's fun, No matter if you want to be a professional artist or not, like, if you don't have fun in anything, like, it doesn't just apply to art. It applies to everything you do in life. If you don't have fun, just get out of it. There's too many people having boring jobs that they hate, and they keep doing it, expecting for something different to happen. And that's the definition of a fool. Expecting different results while doing the same thing. If you don't like what you're doing and you're not having fun, you got to change something. It's a wake-up call. And sometimes it takes a few years to let the message real sink in your head. I know for me, it took me a few years to let go of my previous career, which was graphic design, and to fully emerge myself into doing art, to doing illustrations. And if I had listened to me when I was younger, probably I would have went for art right away. But I didn't. So don't judge yourself too hard if you didn't as well. Sometimes we have our own journey, our own internal struggles. Just be kind to yourself. Have fun. Do something small at first. And let go of your expectation. At the very least, that's my philosophy to it. Should I put a different color a little bit? Just to create or should I put it black? Should I put it black? I'm gonna keep it brown for now. Like, I love this challenge, the Daily 5 challenge, because it really helped me to develop my style, because I do things just more loosely than if I were to work with a client, especially when you work with a client, because a client will come at you with, you know, a clear vision of what they want, hopefully. If they don't come with a clear vision, then it becomes annoying, but that's another subject. But they will come at you with a vision of what they want, and it's usually based on what they have saw on your portfolio. And what does that mean? It means that sometimes you just have to be more meticulous about the way you approach that painting, because it needs to match a certain aesthetic, the aesthetic that the client saw and like from you. But when you're doing the Daily 5, you just can't, you know, you shoot for the stars, you do something different, you do something too fast, transform into that weird little happy accident, and you just like, oh, cool, I just developed a new skills or a new technique. So very good for art blocks. Pandal. Let me know if this was the answer you were looking for. I feel like this needs to be just a little bit more orange on the sides. And Zed, I have to go now. Thank you for answering the question. You're welcome, Zed. Have a good rest of the day or night. For the highlights for this guy, I'm going to push them to pink. I think that could be super cool. Maybe not too saturated though. Maybe a little gray. How's that? Maybe this. Let's see. Yeah, Panda, let me know if you have any more questions. But here's a great example of what I was saying. Like, you can experiment with stuff. Like, I'm experimenting here with the colors, trying to see how I can just mix more colors. You see my strokes, they're real loose. I don't really, like, not that I don't care, I do care, but I don't stress about it. I'm thinking, all right, like, this is an experiment. I go fast, and you learn from the process. One thing that I learned through the years is that it's better to have a lot of painting experience on like multiple pieces than spending a lot of time on just one illustration. And that's what the DD5 can help you with. It gives you the possibility to just kind of like just have a lot of illustration done in a very short amount of time. Like if you follow it the entire month, you could finish with 30 illustration. And you don't have to follow the entire month. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. Like for me, this stage that I'm doing right now is, I'm just trying to add all the colors, to add the diversity in the skin tone. Trying to push the hues a little bit. And it's a learning process. Like even though I have my own techniques that I follow, you always learn a little bit. And that's why challenges are really good. I actually sent a survey to my students of the Illustration for Magician program a few weeks ago, and the results were clear. People do like to learn with challenges. It was one of the most popular answer when it comes to, the question was, I believe, what do you need to, to get better? And there was a few answers, and one of them was challenges. They help a lot because it's like a little boost. You get to concentrate on one illustration for a week or two. And learn new skills. And that's great. But there's different kind of challenges. And although I love the 1 week character and 1 week portrait challenges, the one that we run all year long is the DD5. Just because you need to be able to have these breaks of painting quickly, small things to help you develop your skills faster. At least that's how I had a lot of success with like my own development as an artist. And that's how I see also all sorts of artists online do. It's the sheer amount of work, or anybody is successful really. Just work more. Could be just more saturated. No, darker. If you guys have more questions, let me know. I think I'm almost ready to start painting on top of the lines. And I'm definitely beating my time from last week. I think last week my sketch only took an hour. And then putting the colors took me, I don't know, so much time. Alright. Start painting on top. So for the person that was asking me like, do you paint with a lot of layers earlier? I usually do, but when I get to that stage, I drop a layer on top of it, and now I'm going to be painting just over the lines on one layer. Hi, Jessica. Your 1 week character challenge helped me create my first truly successful portfolio piece. Oh, that's awesome. Thanks for sharing. And I've only gotten better in digital drawing from there. Oh, that's great. Thank you so much for letting me know. Well, we'll have it again this year. I'm looking forward to have you participate. That'd be awesome that you do it maybe a before and after from the first time that you participated with your new piece for this year. Thank you for hosting it. You're absolutely welcome. That's my pleasure. Thank you for participating, really, because you guys making this event worthwhile. Otherwise, it'd be just me going online and talking. I'll definitely be joining again this year. Awesome. All right, I'm gonna paint my lines here a little bit just to make sure that the contrast is not too harsh. I'll be able to add some colors to it. And here we go. The idea is that once I get to that stage where I get like real close, I should have all my colors kind of ready. So all I have to do is to sample from the screen. I'm using the mixer brush tool to blend a little bit. Question from Oniel. How do you choose which color to use for skin? I have right now a reference picture that I'm following. But I also have like a little bit of a recipe that you can get that I like to do, where I put a little bit of blush and I put colors on the nose, the ears, the lips, these kind of things. And I have a few steps. I explain them in 3 steps. I have a mini class on Instagram for you to take for free. You just have to comment or reply anywhere on my account, so you can do it in the chat right now. Iffy list. No, sorry, that's for the Iffy. You can also do that if you want to, but the one for the skin tone is Skin Secrets. So skin space secrets with an S. This is going to start an automation and send you a message in your DM with the class. I'll explain you in a few steps. And if you want to dig deeper, there's the 1 week portrait character, 1 week portrait challenge masterclass that I sell. That goes into a lot more details about my technique. But if you want the skin tone, that's 100% free. You can just drop it in there. Let me know if it works. The automation should work. So yeah. And let me know if you like the class afterwards. I was going through the 1 week, the Illustration for a Magician program the other day, as I like to do every year before launching it, to see if there's things that can be added. It's such a good class, and I know I'm what do you say, like blowing my own shoot, something like that. I don't know the expression. I'm not talking about my own classes. So obviously I like my own classes, but I'm very like I have a high standard of my classes. So anyhow, when I go to my classes, I like to see like what doesn't work more than just giving myself praises. But I was going through it, and there's just so many cool little things. And one of the cool things was the way I teach details. And details is all about understanding light, really. Am I not supposed to be there? It's all about understanding lights. Some people think it's about like small lines and small hair and whatnot. No, it's about where do you place your lights and shadow to attract the eyes of the viewers at the right places. That's all it is. Like what I'm doing right now, I'm just adding contrasts on the right planes to help read better the eye. That's all I'm doing. I think the eye should be just a little bit more punchy in terms of contrast. Oniel, how do you balance producing art content while avoiding burnout from the demand of social media? Well, it's not easy. I'll tell you that. But it comes and goes in terms of like the energy that you have. I think the idea is to have different content that you can play with. Like I'm doing this for now. I'm doing the live, right? And this is pretty low effort for me. But it gives good results into promoting who I am, what I do. But it's pretty low effort in the sense that I'm able to just be me in front of my audience, talk, relax, do a quick illustration. So that's one form of content that can be done for me every week. I do these lives every week, same time. Then you can use this and create another post. I usually do. The illustration I'm going to create today is going to create a post for Instagram later on. I'm just going to edit a few things and that's it. Then I like to do at least one more illustration for the Daily 5. I don't have the time to participate on all the prompts anymore, but I like to do at least another one, and that creates another post. So that's just like 2 quick illustrations. So it helps with just feeling more relaxed about all of this. Otherwise, it's a lot of pressure. And you develop your skills slowly. It's like illustration or anything other skills. If you go all in and you try to do it all at the same time, you're going to burn yourself out. But you find like little things that you like to do and you start stacking them up, no matter what it is for you. It can be to take a picture every day of your office and, you know, wishing everyone a good day. I don't do this one because personally I feel like it's a little boring. I don't know. I have to take the camera. It's me and my screen, and it's like it's kind of repetitive. But I have a friend. Her name is Charlie Klima. If you guys want to go see her Instagram, and if you want to see good social media, she's awesome at sharing her journey, and she takes all these great pictures of her at her desk, at the cafe, all the places that she go and paint. And they're very inspirational. And then she put a little message usually that promotes either her brushes or her classes. So it can be like very like organic is the right word. Martinez, sorry, I don't understand English at all, but I love seeing you paint. I'm here from Argentina. Well, muchas gracias. Muchas gracias. So when it comes to burnout, I think the idea is to find these low-hanging fruits of content that you can share, find what works for you, and then just double down on it. For me, doing these lives is one of them. I can just prepare my mood board, and then I'm just having fun painting, and then just talking with you guys. It's kind of ease me into it. Thank you for being so willing to answer the questions. Your work is amazing and I admire your art. Thank you so much, Oniel. I appreciate it. And yeah, there's no taboo here. We're all, I think we're all artists. And for those of you guys that want to, make it as a profession or learn it, why not? There is obviously knowledge that I bundle and sell, but most of the time, if you have a question on these lives, I'll totally answer it. So if you have more questions, just shoot for it. And for the rest, when I cannot answer them quickly, I usually create classes which you can participate in. I have a huge class called Going Pro, which is a class where I teach you how to approach clients and how to send email to the right clients and how to answer them and all of that stuff. And there's even a section about building contracts for those that are interested to becoming pros. And there is the Illustration for Imagination program, where I teach you my step-by-step process on how to paint one illustration 100% from imagination. I'll be opening the doors in March. You'll hear me talk about it all month of February. And if you missed that, I was saying earlier when I started the live that this year I want to make sure that as many people can participate, and I want to make sure that people that couldn't participate last year because of XY reason, finance being one of them usually, they could this year. And I'm going to start a brand new accountability buddy promotion in February, where you'll be able to join and save up to $200 on the price if you join with a friend. The cool thing is that by doing so, not only you'll save money and save yourself a spot for this year program, but you'll also get results better and faster, because learning from with a friend has been proven over and over that it helps with getting better results faster. So very excited to do this year. And thanks for the questions, guys, as always. If you have more, let me know. I am here for that. So yeah. Nika Dira, can you tell us your daily routine? What do you do after woke up? Did you look up reference in the morning, etc.? Yeah, I can talk about this. So my day is usually divided into either growing the business or promoting the business, Paintable being the business. And depending on what I have to do, I wake up. I'm a new father now, so I usually wake up at 5 before everyone else, because my wife is in charge of the nights and I'm in charge of taking care of them during the day. So I wake up at 5, I do breakfast for everyone. That's the first thing I do. I usually like to do also a little bit of stretching. And then when everyone has had their breakfast, I go to my office around 8 o'clock, usually, and start painting. If I paint for social media, I can do usually a daily 5. So I will take a prompt of the daily 5 challenge that you'll see on Instagram. Everyone can participate, and I will paint it. And then I will record a voice over that helps my my community. Like, I like to give tips with my paintings. Some get popular, some don't, but that's just part of the game. So once that's done, usually that's like a whole day where I paint, record the voiceover. I have also a little bit of help with social media to help me with posting and recording these videos. Not recording, editing these videos. So that's like a full day. Then I need to also spend some time into promoting the business. So if you are an artist and you want to make it as either a freelancer, or I guess I could consider myself like some sort of I don't like that word, but like an artist influencer, I guess, because I do most of my stuff on social media. Then you have to put your head on social media. So I look at trends, what's happening online, what art people will do to get like ideas on how to do promotions. I read some books to help me with ideas. Recently, I've been reading 2 books about marketing, about a marketer called Alex Hormozy. He created a few systems of sales, because even though you have the best product in the world, you still have to convince people to buy it. And that's an art by itself. So sometimes I spend a little bit of time on this. I spend a little bit of time on answering emails, obviously. A lot of you guys are emailing me back with questions that I like to answer. So there's a part of that that's going my day. And I'm trying to, like, there's a lot of repetition. So everything I just told you, I do a lot of that on different occasions, in different format. Then there's a lot of planning that's also involved into the business. All these big challenges, like the 1-week character challenge, the 1-week portrait challenge. If I want them to run smooth, I need to think about them in advance. So just think about the 1-week character that I want to launch later this year. I need to approach Huion and Wacom in advance to create a partnership with them to get the tablets for you guys, because I like to give tablets as gift for participating. So you email them, you try to create the registration page for the event to show the sponsors, what's the product that ultimately they will sponsor. So there's a lot of building websites sometimes, building email sequences. There's a lot more than just doing illustration when you want to be an illustrator. And I think I don't talk about that a lot, because if you start with doing this, you'll be overwhelmed. It doesn't start there. It starts by finding a routine for you to be able to paint. And I'll say this, if I were to be working in the industry, as in like being a concept artist, my day would look very, very different. I would spend all my time painting. I would wake up, I would have multiple clients, I would paint and try to grow my client base, spending email like this. But these days I have a lot less, because years ago I decided to make the switch to kind of become a teacher. So that's mostly what I do now, is I paint for myself and I teach others to get those same skills. I hope this answer, this long answer, answered your question. I'm open. Let me know if you have more question. Let me know. Like another thing that I do these days is also like thinking about like you have to learn the skills that you want to have for the different projects. Like I want to do a Kickstarter this year for my cards, and I need to learn how to do that. I never did a Kickstarter campaign, so now I have to think about how do you do a Kickstarter, how do you bring people to get to know your product, but also how am I going to print it and distribute it and all of these things. And also give myself this year a little bit of a challenge to reach out to more artists. I think I've been shy. It's funny because I'm here speaking live to a lot of people, but I've been shy to just reach out to other creative. And I kind of want to pass that hurdle this year. So I started to reach to other artists and try to see if I can have just starts friendship, really. That's what I'm trying to do. Just sometimes it can be lonely, even if you have a community of students that follows you. Having other professional artists is good. And I used to be part of a mastermind for business to help me grow my online business, but I never had one made of artists that are doing the same thing that I do. And I'm trying to kind of build that for myself this year. So yeah. And if you have another question, please let me know. I think we're good on time. I think I'll be able to finish both portraits within the hour that I usually give myself for these lives, so I'm happy about that. Trying to not go too much in details here, but sometimes it's easy to lose yourself when you zoom in your painting. That's why I usually have also, you guys don't see it, but on my left right here, I got another screen that I like to look into as I paint, because it kind of zoomed me out, so I can paint from real close while still seeing like a smaller version of it all. There's a lot of like this reference picture that I'm using for this was obviously edited and modified in a way that you have all these very bright and saturated shadows. Stay hydrated. Thanks, Sharuan. Yeah, I'm drinking green, not green tea, mint tea this morning. I stopped drinking coffee a while ago. Cam, you say great idea, 2 screens. Yeah, it's not everybody that can afford it. It's definitely like a luxury. I used to have only 1 screen. I used to, sorry, paint on my laptop only. As I was traveling a lot, it was the only way that I could keep on working. Alright, I think I'm gonna add some texture on that and add the highlights. I'm curious, if you're watching this and you're here with me, how many of you guys are painting? Is that something that you guys do? Like joining me live and paint on your own projects? Or are you just more watching? I'm curious. Bodacious, is it possible to get a pic of what your setup looks like and post it to the tribe by any chance? Yeah, 100%. I think I already did it a couple of times, but I can do that for you later. In the meantime, if you're impatient or curious, you can go check in the tribe into the announcement channel. Probably there's a picture already in there if you scroll a little. Camp, you say you're watching. Danielle, you say I doodle sometime. Alright, thanks for letting me know, guys. Any more of you guys are watching and or doodling and or painting, doing a D5? I'm even just curious, is like if it's doable to watch and paint at the same time. I guess probably if I were to watch, I'd be watching as well. You're welcome, Bodacious. And Jessica, you say, I'm painting right now. Oh, that's cool. And what are you painting, Jessica? Are you participating to the day 5? You have a personal project? All right. Let's add the eye candy stuff now. Big highlights. You see, you're working on fan art of Caitlin from Arcane. Oh, cool. I like the character. I'll apply a few conventions this year, and I'm trying to get it for the first time. Oh, that's cool. You know, I was looking into convention as well. I was just curious. I'm not on the right side of the planet to do convention, or have a portfolio even for that. I think if I were to go in a convention, it could be like in a few years or next year with maybe the cards that I'm producing. But all that to say that I kind of looked into it, and it's competitive. There's a lot of competition out there, and it's not cheap, huh? It's not cheap to be in there. You have to commit and really do it because it's a passion project. Because for what I was reading and looking at a few other creators online, it's tough to make a buck. It's tough to make enough money, I think, to cover the cost of sometimes traveling there. Let me know what's your perspective on that. Yeah, I'm curious. Let's add a few more highlights on the lips. Just keep in mind that you have to apply really early, like 6+ months in advance sometimes. And so that's true. Luckily, I live in a state that has a good amount of convention, so I can start semi-locally, but I would still have to pay for hotels because the drive can be 3 to 4 hours sometimes. Yeah, exactly, right? So just getting on site is like already a good chunk of money. And then you have to pay for your spot there. Obviously, like, you're not, like, I'm sure you're not, and most people are not doing it just for money. I think there's a reward that goes beyond the cost, which is getting with the community. I think is super important and fun. But yeah, it's also very expensive. All right, let's drop maybe a few freckles on the face because my reference has a lot. And I'm gonna call this one done. We're just going to try to see if I can add some bowling balls earlier. Yeah. If there's like a way for me to add some reflections. Jessica, you say my goal for convention is to make art friends and make industry connection. You know what? I think I would do the same if I were to go. I think that's the best way to see it. This way you're sure to bring back something valuable home. So yeah, good luck with this. I think it's a very cool project. Did I not have... I don't know if I can have like a pure highlights on that thing. If it would look okay. Probably not, huh? Yeah, no. Just some small reflection like this is better. I'm gonna try to push this one a little bit more. And yeah, thanks guys for being there with me. I know today I'm not very talkative. A little bit more tired today. But again, if you have any questions, it's always easier for me to answer questions than finding subjects sometimes to talk. So if you have any questions, please don't be shy. Let me know. In the meantime, what I'm trying to do here is to kind of push these two, and then I think I'm going to add some subsurface scattering to it and call it a day. Camp Sanjo watching, thank you so much. That takes out a little bit of pressure. Yeah. When will we see you again? Camp, I'm here every week at the same time. So I started about 2 hours ago, an hour and a half ago now. I'll be there same time next week. And I always do, or try to do, a prompt from the Daily 5 challenge, which you can participate at the same time with me if you desire. So today's prompt was silver tongue. I didn't know what to do for it, so that's why you're seeing me right now painting some Mickey Mouse inspired art with some coins. The coins represent the silver tongue, but we were talking earlier with just remember the name, Shane. Talking with Shane earlier on the meaning of it all, and Shane was saying, it can also mean very charismatic, silver tongue, but it can also mean being convincing. But also I took it kind of literally here, where I'm like putting silver in the mouth. So yeah, I'm here every week, and you'll be able to also see this art as a post later this week, because I usually like to use these sessions to create material for social media. Makes it easier this way. Speaking of Disney, now that I have a son, or a kid, I got the perfect excuse to go to Walt Disney. I've never been, but I would really enjoy trying to test if my 40 years old self is able to sustain the rides, which my gut feeling tells me no. I was actually like curious to see like if there's a way for me to like train for this. Like when I shake my head certain ways, I feel dizzy, so I cannot imagine in a ride how it would feel. Eva, you say, what program do you use? I am using Photoshop, Eva. But I wanna let you know that you can use any software that you so desire to do digital painting. It's not about the software most of the time, it's about the techniques. If you have good technique or not will determine your success as an artist. But I am using Photoshop. But there's so many good like software out there. There is Krita, which is free, I believe. There is Clip Studio Paint that you pay, but I think the cool thing with Clip Studio Paint is it's I think you pay for the entire software. You don't have to pay for a subscription like Photoshop. So yeah. I had this Mickey Mouse that I thought I could paint on top of it for some reason. I kind of like that yellow too. I might use that as a base. Almost placing it like a sticker. I've been starting doing this in November, I think, last year, where I treat the Daily 5 challenge almost like a photo collages, and I mix some stuff together. Sometimes it makes more sense than other, but I've been having just a lot of fun with it. And Cam, you say you gotta go. Great memories. I cried on one ride, but laughed afterwards. Yeah, I'm sure there's some scary rides, right? I'm sure there's some scary rides. When I was a kid, I was going to. I grew up in Montreal, and we had. I think now it's a Six Flag company that owns it, but it used to be just I think an independent owner. But anyhow, that was the biggest park that we had in town, and it was big enough. Nothing compared to like the Walt Disneys of this world, but big enough for me to have a ton of fun going there. And I remember doing like the most intense one and be absolutely fine, and I would love to do it like over and over and over again. But yeah, these days I pick up something on the floor and then my just getting back up, sometimes I'm like oof, or just playing with my son and like turning him around kind of thing, I feel like dizzy, which I'm sad about. So I guess we'll see. Which Disney park are you planning to go to? I don't know. I don't know. We're thinking about doing a trip to Japan this year, maybe. If we do that, I think there's one in Japan. That could be an idea. Otherwise, probably one in the States. We have some family in the States, so, but I don't know which one. But let me ask you that, Eva. Which one did you go? Which one do you recommend? The rides at Disney and Universe are very cool. They really immerse you into the theme ride. Yeah, I know my wife went into one and she keeps telling me that she had the best time. So yeah, I can't wait to see. What do you guys think? Should I put that Mickey Mouse thingy somewhere? I think so, right? I don't know if I want to keep these colors though. Maybe I should have it in black and white. Or some other color. Let's see. Kind of liked the blue because it was kind of like almost like a contrast. Kind of like that too. You went to the one to Los Angeles. All right. And I'm assuming you recommend it. You know what? I like the green just because it pops. Even though it's kind of weird looking. Let me push these two first. I think I'm going to add some subsurface scattering for the last details. You say you haven't been in any other would like one day. Yeah, I don't even understand the scope of how many there is out there, but I'm assuming. I'm assuming there's a lot of different parks. So what I'm doing right now is I'm using a soft round brush and I place it on a overlay layer, and I'm kind of like just seeing if like I can add like some subtle subsurface scattering colors and try to see if I can create a kind of a happy accident kind of thing. I might also go back and just try to add actual lines, see how that looks. Just at a few places, to add a little bit, you know. You see, you have to plan your trip to Disney accordingly so you can make the most of it. Otherwise, you will be stuck in long lines. Yeah, I'm assuming it's like a multiple day kind of thing. And camp, you say purple is nice. Do you mean the Mickey Mouse, or do you mean this purple? That's subsurface scattering kind of thing. I saw this was an artist called Ignacy Monreal on Montreal. I think he's Spanish or Italian, and he was doing he did the campaign for Gucci. Just an amazing campaign, really, and it marked my it inspired me even to this day. And he was doing these lines. He was a lot more precise about it, but he was like adding like some very cool like little touches of subsurface scattering. And I've been trying to do it myself since. Still trying to learn how to do it properly. I think it works on here. It doesn't work much here. The eye sub, the little touch here, yeah? Nah, thanks. Yeah. I wonder if I'm able to add a cast shadow of these heads, if it would make sense. Let's see. Sort of, huh? Sort of. That's where I treat the cast shadow almost like a graphic element, and it doesn't have to like match completely the scene. And I might try to add a harder cast shadow in between the two characters. Like if this was to, I need to put it someplace higher, I think. Makes it jump off the page. Yeah, a little bit, right? Just a little bit. Yeah. This is what I say when I talk about the DD5, you know, like I never did this shadow technique, or you know, it's not something I have in my on my style most of the time, but because the DD5 just gives you the possibility to try a few different techniques. You can just try and see for yourself. I think I like the outline here. I think it makes it kind of pop like a sticker. Whoops, music stopped. I'll try to put some more. Yeah, kind of like this. It's funny because now I'm thinking about it. It's actually a technique that I've been using on my Royal Feud cards to have these line arch added at the end. On the Royal Feud, they're like more orange. Sorry, Instagram. Sometimes I zoom too close. I think I'm going to try to add some more highlights on her. Just a little bit more. And maybe I'm going to try to add some kind of graphic elements like this. At a few places. Oops. On its own layer. Or maybe it would be better on the coins. Probably in pure white. Maybe smaller. Sorry, Instagram. Make it shiny. Camp, you say, curious, is it possible to add color to black and white? I can't seem to figure it out. Is it something you should do, you should not do? No, adding colors to a black and white image is exactly how I teach in illustration from imagination. It's a great way to do it. It's also a frequent way for concept artists to create because it gives them the power to establish the light scheme of a scene without having to commit too many hours. You can just place the light scheme, and if the light scheme works, then you can add the colors afterwards. So it's a great way. I like to do both. But I'm having a lot more fun doing colors these days. But I'm still teaching with grayscale, because if you are somewhat of a beginner artist, you need to learn how to play with values and how to render form, and taking out one component of coloring, which is the hue, and you just focus on light. No, here's what I'm going to say. When you render something, you're going to have lighting and you're going to have coloring, and those two are very complicated. But when lighting, you have both the understanding of value in it and colors. And color theory is very, very complicated. So if you are just concentrated on grayscale, you got higher chances of succeeding. So that's why I teach in grayscale first. Yeah. So all that to say that, yeah, no, it's a great way to do it. It's a great way to do it. I'm just trying to add a few more deets before I call it a day. Thank you so much, everyone that was with me during the live. You know, every week I come expecting no one, and then there's a bunch of you guys coming and asking for questions. So that's awesome. So thanks for showing up. I might just rework those lips a little. All right, that's cool that you got black. The confidence in color will come with time. And yeah, and thanks for showing up today, Cam. Really appreciate it. Next time, if you want, you can also join me on YouTube. We are both on Instagram and YouTube at the same time. And YouTube you'll be able to see the reference photos on my left, which can be super helpful as well. So yeah. Where's my Mickey Mouse? Whoopsie, I think I got this too. Whoopsie, no, where's my line arch? Huh. Wait a minute. Did I destroy my line arch? I got this and this. Oh, there's a line arch. I think I'm going to do a hard line with black. Oops, black, pure black, and the nose needs to be black. And I'm gonna kind of treat it as a sticker. That's better for the contrast already. And then I'm gonna go at the back, take some white, and see if I can create an outline like this that kind of treats it as a sticker. It's just been really obvious that's on top. And whoopsie, I might drop a cast shadow from it. Yeah, I think that's good for now. Last touch, let's put silver tongue. Silver tongue. That was the prompt of the day today. And my signature. Oops. Zoop. All right, you guys. This concludes today's episode. Thank you for everyone that was live until the end. I really appreciate it. I hope you enjoy the painting, the talking, and all of that. I'll be back next week, hopefully with more energy to talk some more. And I'll be letting you guys know as soon as I have more details about the Illustration for Imagination program. Like I said, we're going to do the new accountability buddy promotion, where if you find someone to join the program with you, you'll both save up to $200 on it. And we'll do that way before we open the door. So it's going to be really just for the people that already know about Illustration for Imagination and wanted to participate but haven't yet. I'll give all the details within the emails soonish. So have a great day. Enjoy the rest of your day. Happy painting, guys. I'll talk to you soon. Ciao, ciao.